Game over.
Hello and welcome back to Ulti TV's coverage of Windmill 2022 for this final round of Swiss draw in the mixed division. My name is Luke, I'm joined by Christina.
Hello.
Witness PuTi in grey, starting on offense. Again, Smog on white, starting on defense, but immediately getting the block and giving themselves an early break opportunity. PuTi have done exceptionally well so far this tournament.
Yeah, beating an American team earlier this morning in the live stream.
But Smog are here to play. Spears with this now. Looking downfield, can't find anything, resets. Swing to the far side, can't quite be reeled in. And a bit of a gift there for PuTi. So they work it around the back. Down this near side. Travel cold, quickly reset. Tight defense from Smog, but not tight enough. PuTi maintain possession. Looking for this up line, can't find it. Looking in field, finds
the Smog defender.
But the Smog defender filled it, and second break chance for Smog early in this game. Nice inside shot to start off the Smog possession. There's the deep shot, hanging. Several players underneath it, and Smog can't quite reel it in. So both teams looking a little bit shaky. Foul called on that block attempt. So some discussion ongoing.
Discussion about that block. See that again. Rachel Naden running through that coverage. PuTi currently #1, seeded 1 in the mixed division. As I mentioned before, they just beat an American team that came all the way over from the US earlier to maintain their position in first place.
Deep shot from PuTi is hanging, receiver underneath it, but too far. Once again, neither team able to convert.
Yeah, but hasty first point for both sides. Smog currently in the 3rd position. Just another American team waitlist #1 between them.
Yeah, waitlist had a fantastic day yesterday.
But they did lose to PuTi, I believe.
otherwise looking pretty dominant. So all these teams pretty much guaranteed to make the bracket. So really we're just playing to see what the bracket matchups will be. Out call on this.
Out call for Smog.
It was close.
It was close, but he looked at the wrong line, I believe. That's what he signaled, at least.
So PuTi getting this back. Looking for the inside break. Crossfit pitch blade. Huge layout attempt, but too far still. And the point, first point of the game.
Jumping after that disc. Just can't really put his hands around it. Another opportunity for Smog now.
Timeout called. So.
Took his time there calling it.
Probably the longest first point of a game we've had on stream so far this tournament.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Both teams looking a little bit flustered on offense. Neither team is really firing.
Nice defense there. See all the... Oh, and misread there. Couldn't quite catch that disc.
There's been both close defense from both teams, as well as plenty of blocks.
Whatever you would expect from such high-ranked teams, just really wanting that.
A few execution errors as well, though, like that last turnover.
Beautiful shot, just too far in front. Look at that layout.
Yeah. The space was there. But too much edge on the disc. Doesn't sit out in space. It is unusual for teams at this level to be so not clinical for the first point of the game. We often see games start with just clean holds from both teams. As the well-drilled offensive units take to the pitch.
Could also be that they haven't really had anyone challenge them that much yet.
Yeah, both of these sides have played some good teams this weekend, so.
Yeah, but maybe the pressure was really on from the first second from both sides.
Well, I mean, the very first pass of this game, very first upfield pass at least, was blocked by Smog, so. Nothing separating the teams at the moment. The Smog find the swing out of this timeout. Into the middle, pop to this near side. Still on this near sideline. Deep shot though, will hang. Fading just about inbounds, but the PuTi defender all over it.
Good position there from PuTi.
Get another angle. Good defense from PuTi once again. And in case you've forgotten, PuTi did start this game on offense. So they find the infield first pass to get off this line. Flash poach in the lane from Smog, preventing these downfield options. Swing to the near side. Deep shot. This one's hanging. Fades slightly to the right into the path of the PuTi receiver, and PuTi get the offensive hold to start the game.
What a beautiful shot. Putting it into a position where only the PuTi receiver could get that.
Yes.
Also boxing it, boxing their defensive player out with expertise and then grabbing that disc with the right hand. No chance the Smog defender could have ever gotten there.
Yeah, good shot from PuTi, good positioning. But it took them a while.
Yeah.
Multiple attempts.
It's true.
To get their offense clicking.
That shot.
Really nice throw.
Good grab.
It's incredibly difficult to play defense on deep shots that are fading from above your head towards the receiver.
True.
And that's demonstrated no better than literally every team in Japan. That throws all of their deep shots with more roll curve than anyone else in the world.
Those have to be more precise.
They do, but
So.
when they're trying to beat extremely tall US defenders,
That's all you
make it
can
work.
do.
A deep shot holstered from Smog. And a bit of a miscommunication downfield will give PuTi the disc back. Their first chance of the game to get the break. Working it down this near side. Tight defense from Smog downfield. Reset, swing. Into the middle. As PuTi look to set up their end zone offense. Well recovered. There's the shot to the end zone, but foul will be called. The defense from Smog was very, very close.
What a grab there to keep possession alive. Ronanen.
Yeah, hunt from Smog was extremely close, but
coming from behind, so
yeah,
Ronanen, no chance of seeing her and running from.
yeah, these types of plays, it's almost impossible to tell from a camera, particularly at this angle. But it's up to the players to decide whether or not there was non-minor contact and whether or not it affected the play. Looks like it will be contested and sent back, which is pretty reasonable resolution, I'd say.
Yeah. If the players can agree, it's just the easiest option.
I think it could have been a drop, could have also been a foul. We don't know which, so we'll send it back, and PuTi will have another go. Quick break side swing. They pop it in the end zone. And I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised to see Smog going down 2-0 at the start of this game.
Are you? Well, I knew PuTi was really good. There's a reason they're the top of the seeding right now in the mixed division. And also, they have a lot of experience under their belt. The Finnish ultimate scene isn't that big, and I think PuTi know each other really well. They've played together for so long, and most of these players have had their fair share of international tournaments. So nothing new. The pressure like Smog's.
Smog are a quality side, though. Been dominant in the UK for the past few years. Getting better and better performances in Europe.
I mean, they're as good as they can send 2 teams of their club to World Championships.
Yes.
That is something.
It's quite something. So I think what surprises me most, it's not just that Smog are down by 2 points early in the game, but it's that they've had so many opportunities to score. And they haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, well, they had a miscommunication on their O-line, and PuTi just didn't give them the disc back anymore.
Yeah, so it looks like PuTi have sort of gotten their heads into the game just that little bit quicker. Let's see what Smog can do on this offensive possession.
Oh, and another
Bit of an overthrow.
drop. Overthrow. Error from Smog. Gives PuTi a rather short field to work with.
So PuTi pick up on the far side. Looking for that reset, can't find it. Have to go backwards. It is reeled in. A shot down the middle is blocked by Thompson. Deep shot, looked off. And the swing, not even close.
Yeah, don't know what that player saw there, but intended for Thompson.
This looks like Smog's heads are just not in this game. So PuTi now, another opportunity to break. Smog earned the disc back last time. They're going to have to do it again. Still out cold. Seemed a bit quick.
Yeah, did. So an average, so you have 10 seconds, right? So an average stall out is at 7.5 seconds, I think.
Something like that. Well, typically players count a bit fast, but also there's no 1 second gap between the start of the S of stalling and the O of 1. So that's another half a second off. So if a perfect stall count would be more like 9.5 seconds. Players count a bit fast, so that's more like 8 to 8.5 seconds. But even then, it seemed a bit fast. PuTi shoots to the back of the end zone, and what a grab!
There's a violation call.
Retracted?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so PuTi do get the break and go 3-0 up.
Smog gotta keep their heads up, or get their heads up as they're all walking to the line. Get some motivation on there, get a power line and punch that goal in. Because they're selling themselves a bit short here, 3-0.
The mistakes they've been making are pretty demoralizing as well. They've not been getting sort of outplayed by the defense. You know, PuTi haven't been coming up with huge blocks. It's been throws going too far, miscommunications. And these are all things that are on Smog. It's not being forced by PuTi.
Yeah. I agree.
So the first challenge they need to overcome is just completing those passes and making PuTi take the disc from them. Right now they're just giving it to PuTi. And after that first point, PuTi have decided they're not as interested in giving the disc back to Smog. They did turn over once on that previous point, but that was Smog earning the disc back, getting that run-through block on the break side. So let's see what they can do. Horizontal stack from Smog. Thompson. Can't find anyone in field. Lees. Jill. Upfield to Cod. It's looking better from Smog. There's the shot to the end zone, and it is collected. Smog, after a shaky start to this game, finally turn up their offense and put their first point on the board.
See that timeout really did something for Smog. Put the right mindset back into their heads. Because that was beautiful flow offense.
Much better.
Yeah, that's more like we're used to.
Yeah, that's the offense I was expecting to see coming into this game.
Still a lot of pressure from PuTi, but taking the open shots that they're going to give you.
Also, if there are multiple people going deep, one defender can stay like
So Smog have earned blocks so far in this game. The question is, can they earn a block and then convert? So that's what they've been missing. As PuTi break around to start off their possession. Swing to the near side. Looks off the deep shot. Looks in field for a reset, and once again, Smog close the door on those IO breaks.
There you go, earned a block.
Smog really need to convert now, though. Hammer to the far side. Stays in the air too long, allows the defender to get in the space. And PuTi shoot deep immediately. And an easy catch in the end zone.
Nice pickup there for PuTi. Immediately looking deep.
So we've yet to see a conversion after a block for Smog. I feel like if they'd have got that one, then their heads would have been right back in this game. But as it stands, it's still quite a mountain to climb.
So I haven't really seen a lot of Smog this season. Haven't really watched them. But it seemed like they were looking off some of the free options to get after that block. You see that beautiful block there. Then forcing a hammer where you can already see there is an open player over there, and the reset was also rather free. It's just not playing not the way they want to play.
Yeah. It betrays a lack of confidence in their resets. That they would opt instead to take a cross-pitch hammer to a player that was only slightly poached off. Really throwing the hammer that far, they need more space. Or a significantly faster hammer.
With that bit of wind, it's really hard to execute the hammer better.
Yes. So Thompson on the far side finds Bennett down that far line. Deep shot from Smog now, looking for card in the end zone. It's floating, and looks like it was out the back, even if it had been
caught. There was a shot that was a bit too long for the amount of space available for Gwen. Beautiful shot. But
yeah, it was a nice attempt from Smog. As they look to surround the PuTi vertical stack. We've seen teams attempt this previously this tournament, and often what's happened is a bit of miscommunication leading to some open players. Ooh, can't quite collect the Callahan, but Smog will be pretty happy with the field position as PuTi just miscommunicate on the reset. Give the disc straight back to Smog. Lee's on the front. Looks off Bennett on the first movement. But Bennett cuts across to the other side of the end zone. Smog pop it in.
it was the easiest shot for Lee's to get that goal.
Why break the mark?
When you can also just throw a 2-meter backhand in. So I like surrounding the stack there for Smog, but the difficulty, especially when playing mixed, is that you have to either match up female matching players with their matchups and male matching players with their matchups separately, or trust your female matching players to cover a male matching player and then switch at some point.
Yes.
So you have to know each other really well to execute that, but well.
Yeah. What you don't want out of that is a height and speed mismatch in favor of the offense going deep, which can be mitigated somewhat by putting your shorter, slower players in the underneath space and your taller, faster players in the deep space. But you're almost certainly going to have to try and re-engineer a switch back later on. But it can be a really effective tool to shut down pool plays.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see if Smog keep doing that as the game progresses. But at this point, PuTi are much more spread out, not inviting the surrounding setup. As they go deep, as it sits towards the back of the end zone and is run down.
It was a beautiful shot.
Nicely done from PuTi.
We've seen number 17 do that before. Just waiting the needed amount of time and putting that up into space, and then just sitting there for the PuTi player to run on the. That's not what Smog defense want. Getting scored on like that.
No, that's very clean from PuTi.
Score currently 5-2 in favor of PuTi. They've been holding after the few breaks PuTi scored early on.
Smog at least look mentally back in the game. They've got some belief back into their offense after getting 2 points on the board. Thompson finds Cod. Infield, deep shot. There is a player free in the end zone, and they do collect it. Tessa Hunt with the score for Smog. And as I said, the belief is back in the Smog offense.
You can definitely see they trust each other now. Beautiful leading pass inside, and then putting it out to space for Hunt to isolate it in the end zone. Get that grab.
So the question now for Smog is, what can they get done on defense?
Well, they have to change up something.
They've had most success when PuTi have tried to force those inside shots, and then they get players in the way. And on the other hand, PuTi have had most success when they've been able to get receivers free deep.
I'm sure some of those masterminds of Smog, PuTi side respectively will try and find a way to work through those, taking away the deep shots or the first or even second looks. Try and push. That was a very short pull.
Does mean there's less space to set up deep shots. Or underpasses, as it were, as Smog immediately get the disc back off of that high throw from PuTi. Smog on this near side, great. Centers to Lim. Spears. Still counts rising, looking for a reset. Swings back to Lim. Upfield is collected. Smog trying to keep this disc moving. Hyde. Finds an option on the far side, fakes the hammer. Around break, not taken, but finds the inside anyway. Gray to Lim. Back to Gray, nice 1-2. Shot to the back of the end zone is collected. I think that's Williams with the score.
And that's a break for Smog.
Much, much better from Smog after getting the block. Converting the offense on the first time of asking. Smog are very much back in this game.
Yeah, they really used the open shots this time. Used their feet. Rather than throwing people open, they just ran away from the PuTi defenders. I want to shout out our Ulti TV production crew for this stream that is all women. Look at me in the booth. Supported by Cam 1 and Cam 2, all women. Say hi to...
Ignore Felix.
Yeah, ignore Felix. He's just, you know, watching us do stuff. But other than that...
There's Chips. Putting in a shift on the pole cam.
Then Eris on camera 1. And then Luna pushing all the buttons. And if you want to support us, help us...
Cam 2.
Yeah, help us fund more events. Go to your favorite event. Become a Patreon subscriber. Give us a bit of your money, just €3 to €4 a month. Already help us so much. As we want to show you more high quality Ultimate like this game. PuTi and Smog playing. Smog pushing PuTi back. Now resetting in the handler set.
Yeah, lots of give and goes from PuTi, but not able to penetrate the defense, not able to get much going downfield, but there's a pass to a downfield player. Nice around break. Fakes the deep shot. Finds a poached player in field. PuTi having to work this point. Disc goes up to the end zone. Nicely done from PuTi. Smog asked some questions of the PuTi O-line there.
PuTi using their male matching players more, seeing as they have an advantage over the Smog side. Asking for the disc quite a lot and punching it in for the break side. What a fake.
One of their female matching players was the first to get free under, and then that sort of opened up the rest of the possession for PuTi, who only needed a few more passes after that to convert the point.
It's a clean hold for PuTi.
But Smog they're looking threatening on defense. They've gotten plenty of blocks already this game. And PuTi didn't look completely comfortable on offense there, so. High pull from PuTi, floating. Will be caught on that far sideline. I feel like that could have been a brick maybe, if it wasn't collected. Layout D from PuTi, read that undercut long before the disc went up. And break opportunity with a short field. Looking for the reset. But good reset defense. Unfortunately, the front of stack was isolated, and a high pop to the break side is all it takes for PuTi to convert the break.
Smog just in a foot race to get that disc. Initial cut, just not really a cut, a change of direction, but rather running towards the disc, and this just gives your defender a chance. You can see that here, she's just they're just running towards it, and this gives a great angle for the PuTi defender to jump in there. Great effort on that layout defense.
Yeah, they really accelerated into that block. Just attacking the disc more than the Smog receiver.
PuTi up 7-4. Their goal is to break for half, I presume. Smog is going to do everything in their power to defend that.
Yeah, Smog need to keep that belief in their O-line that we mentioned earlier. Nice confident hold from them here would be hugely beneficial. So they start by swinging it around the back. Thompson goes deep, looking for Hunt. And nicely done from Smog. That's just what they needed. Confident hold.
Yeah, a beautiful hook by Thompson there, finding Hunt in acres of space in the end zone. What a great connection. That's definitely what they needed now. Punch one in quickly and then go back to playing defense. Look at that.
Yeah, what a throw from Thompson. Perfectly into the path of Hunt.
So after this last round of mixed Swiss draw play, we're going into bracket play. Both teams currently in the top eight position. And then there's going to be quarterfinals today and tomorrow. There will be semifinals later tonight.
Quarters and semis today, and then finals tomorrow, right?
Finals tomorrow. So much more action that we're going to bring to you.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Ulti TV on YouTube so you don't miss a single moment of the pointy end of this tournament as we build up to finals day tomorrow.
Richard Ayden with the pole, World Games player for GB, I believe.
So what can PuTi do on offense? Not a lot, it seems, as they're passed to the far side. Finds the turf.
Unforced error there. That throw from PuTi gives Smog the disc around midfield.
Smog setting up. Side stack on this near sideline, isolating Williams on the far side. Smog looking in field. Finds Spears. Pick called. So it looks like the disc will stay with Ayden. PuTi will catch up. Disc is checked back in without telling anyone. So we'll have another go. Ooh, that disc is too low though.
That's unfortunate for Smog.
Yeah.
PuTi getting another chance in their offense.
Yeah, unforced errors from both teams. PuTi looking to hold for half. Bit of a poach in the lane from Smog, but PuTi work round it. Looking upfield, several players attacking this open side.
So much traffic around that disc.
Yeah, PuTi's offense looking a little bit discombobulated as they go for the deep shot. It's hanging, sitting in the back of the end zone, and it is walked down. As everyone on the field looked just a bit stunned, not entirely sure what to say. To be fair, it is difficult to see whether or not that was in.
The thing is, those end zones are very far back, and they're stopping where the grass decreases drastically. So as long as he doesn't fall off, he's still in.
Yeah.
You see him there taking the step lower, so he might actually He's actually in
We
space.
need better celebrations from
Yeah.
players catching on that end zone line, so it's obvious that they think they're in. Hand signal from the defender would be convenient as well.
So I bet PuTi will celebrate their half-time lead now.
Yeah,
as we
great
will-
great work from PuTi in this first half. Questions being asked of Smog, but the players will take an extended half-time break to account for the weather today, and we will do the same. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back shortly.
The ultimate things in life are free.
Sideline pitää auttaa nyt kaveria.
We're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.
We are back with live stream action here. Second half of PuTi vs Smog, the last Swiss draw round in the mixed division. And as the Swiss draw rounds have concluded for the Opens and the women's division, I'm going to just run through some of the matchups we're going to see in quarterfinals. For the women's sides, it's Prima Donna Girls from the US playing Panthers from Wroclaw, Seagulls Hamburg against Flying Angels Bern, fabulous, from Switzerland, 3SB from the Czech Republic and Scram from the UK, and Enraladas against the Belgium women's national team. It's going to be your top 8 in the women's division as we're back to live mixed action. Smog facing PuTi from Finland. Rachel Churden with the disc in her hands puts it to Tessa Hunt. Tessa Hunt unlashing a huge put into the zone, and that's caught for Smog. Beautiful put there by Hunt for this easy score for Smog, and not a lot of stuff has been easy for them this game, but that offense is beautiful. Without a defender, left alone, and shouldn't do that. Beautifully caught. PuTi still up by 2. Got on a 3-0 run early. So, rather long point. Long time in between points, rather. Maybe discussing the gender ratio as it switches for half. And sometimes doesn't. I think it's very. Yeah. So. So there's the new gender rule ABBA, where you start with one gender, then you play the other twice, and then you go back to the first one. And sometimes it switches for half, and
it shouldn't.
But if you switch sides, the zone where it switches changes as well, which makes it really difficult to keep
yeah, there is.
Keep track of it.
If you want to know how to keep track at home, you take the sum of the current scores, find the remainder after dividing by 4, and then it's ABBA 0, 1, 2, 3. So if it's 0, it's A, 1 or 2, it's B.
That makes so much sense.
Logic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Now, I don't know which is A and which is B, but presumably the teams do. So, but PuTi on offense, looking pretty confident, working this down the field nicely. There's a shot to the end zone, and a wide open receiver comfortably catches it for the goal.
Yeah, well done from the PuTi side, putting it in there. So your quarter matchups in the men's division will be Clapham Ultimate against the Flying Angel Spurn from Switzerland. The women's side is also in the top 8. Chevron Action Flash will face Is No Good. Fui from the Czech Republic will face Goyota Men, Spain. And the Mooncatchers will take on Czech. Mooncatchers and Czech, a game we streamed yesterday. So rematching. I believe Mooncatchers beat them pretty handily. We'll see if that happens again in quarterfinals, but we'll see about that. Isn't it good? And playing Chevy is also really interesting because they played against each other yesterday. Chevy winning this in Universe Point.
Yeah, Isno have been pretty dominant all season, winning French Nationals, winning Toms.
Knocking out Clapham.
Knocking out Clapham in the semi-final at Toms. We did stream that game, so check out Ultra TV YouTube channel playlist for that. But yeah, Clapham seem to have Isno's number this season. One of the few teams that has beaten them. But our focus at the moment is in this mixed division Swiss round. Smog looking to come back in this game. Not too much further for Smog to go, but a bit of a miscommunication required. A sensational rescue catch. There's the break to this near sideline. Not a huge amount of movement downfield. Smog having to go sideways. IO shot is collected. And Smog just about managed to squeak that in.
Hunt with another goal. She's been collecting those in the end zone for quite many of them actually. What a grab there, getting high and collecting that disc with 2 hands. Beautiful inside shot as well from Smog. Bit of trouble, had to go down on to the ground to save possession on a reset once, but after that, just clinical.
Yeah, nice inside break.
Love the little dance after that.
Yes.
Celebrating her goal.
So not the most comfortable hold for Smog. But at this point in the game, They'll take what they can get.
Yeah.
They'll take what they can get.
So they're down by 2. It's about 50 minutes played of the 70 we've got overall.
They're still in it, but they're going to need to get some blocks.
Let's
soon.
go!
Yeah, ideally, to secure their ranking like that, they should tie up or even win by 1.
Yeah, these teams are really looking just for easier quarterfinals at this point. They both made the bracket. So Smog trying out a zone, see if they can disrupt PuTi, but that's a nice pivot through the cup to find the opening. Can't convert it into downfield movement though. As PuTi continue working around the back. Pretty early transition call from Smog. And that has allowed PuTi to make progress downfield and score much more comfortably than I feel it would if they'd stayed zone.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought they were really keeping them behind that cup wall, rather. Letting one pass through, but then having no other option than to go back to swing it around again. But it really depends on what their goal is. If their goal is just to stop the initial whole play and then maybe stop the immediate huck going up, they did that very well. And then I guess they want to play defense over their individual matchups, as all of them are very fit, played over their athleticism.
I think the teams are pretty evenly matched, 1-1. But PuTi dealt extremely well with the transition out of that zone. It's hard to tell exactly what Smog were going for, because they did pull the trigger on the switch very, very early. I think PuTi got that initial break through the cup and then didn't convert that into yards down the pitch. The zone just about recovered and then they transitioned. And after that, PuTi looked a lot more comfortable. So,
well, I guess they're still trying out different looks, what works best. Figure out whether you want to transition after
maybe
5 passes or after the first gainer. And if you've called it on the line, you have to stick to it.
Well, you don't. You can communicate on pitch. That is allowed.
You can, but it's...
Players get confused, yeah.
Yeah,
it
and
does
margin for error increases.
You're opening yourself up to miscommunication, but we'll see what happens on Smog's next defensive point. Before that, they have the tall order of scoring against this PuTi defense. Bennett with the disc now. Finds Thompson in the backfield. Upfield to Lees. Smog looking comfortable on offense now. Making some progress. But their flow has stopped. Tight 1-1 matchup on the reset, but Bennett snags that disc and shoots straight to the end zone. But Cod catches the disc out of bounds.
They were working it in very tight space. Good pressure from that D.
Yeah.
Putting them into a position into not really having any other option than putting it deep. And
yeah, Smog looked good for a few passes and then it all came to a grinding halt. High pass from PuTi. Jill gets under it for the block.
Nice D recognizing that.
Thompson will pick up the Smog. Again, Smog playing very isolated offense. Trusting their receivers to get free in as much space as possible. Lees. Bennett. Looking end zone, has Thompson. floats it to the back, and Thompson runs it down. So Smog do punch it in on the second time of asking.
They learned from their prior mistakes and worked it over the break side this time. Trusting the throwers to put up discs into spaces where receivers were the only ones getting those catches. Great use of that break side. And also, as you mentioned before, isolating single players, making sure that no help defense can get into that space and clog it up.
Well, help defense can get involved, but they have to commit fully from marking a player on the other side of the pitch. So we haven't seen that from PuTi, but if they were to try it, it would be interesting to see what Smog's response is.
They've poached off a bit initially.
Yeah, a little bit, but never fully into the space where the receiver's cutting.
You can do that early on, but then in the end zone, a team like Smog will exploit it, and PuTi is intelligent enough, experienced enough that they know not to play that against a team like the caliber of Smog.
Well, at least on that possession, they made Smog throw a high breakthrough, which is blockable if it sits up. Point block. So now it looks like PuTi's offense is the one that's not clicking.
Yeah, they had the run earlier, but now forcing those deep shots.
A flash poach from PuTi in the lane, and Williams will have a discussion. I just thought they got control of this before the PuTi defender.
PuTi player called Erik, that much I know, forgot his last name, but he is American and also Swiss. I know he played for the Swiss national team under 24s in Heidelberg. It's a good pickup for that PuTi team. Now discussing tough to say.
Yeah, difficult to see from this angle, but Smog will keep this. There's the deep shot. It's fading left, but the receiver is under it and goes up with two hands for an easy score.
Beautiful poke by Rachel Naden. I thought it was too zippy at first, but then it slowed down and as it was approaching the end zone, and the Smog player underneath it just running it down easily.
So see this throw again. Floating nicely into the space. Easy catch.
All alone in the space.
And Smog now.
That's a celebration.
Oh yeah, there we go. No doubt as to whether or not Smog thought that was a goal. So 10-9 to PuTi still. But Smog with all the confidence, all the energy. Feeling good after that break.
So they're down 1, 9 to 10 in favor of PuTi. Current score. We got a few more minutes, 13 more minutes, 12 rather, until the jingle called. PuTi on off again.
Shouts from the sideline, trying to get this Smog D-line riled up. Sticking to match defense. PuTi forced to work it around the back. This is good defense from Smog. Making PuTi work. They find the shot to the front of stack, and Spears runs into the arm of the thrower as they pivot out. Puti disc is called. No, this looks pretty fine to us. Yeah, we think it's good. Don't know what the players on the pitch are worried about.
Oh.
And it's our opinion that really matters.
Of course it is.
We're the ones with the microphone.
We're the ones getting paid to be here.
Oh yeah. So Puti trying to put this point in, pick downfield, but
nice grab, look at that.
Nice catch. And I believe they've subbed the disc out for one with the non-binary pride flag colours. Love to see it. On the previous game I was doing, they had the asexual pride flag colours on the disc. So I think they have subbed it out for a better disc. At least a better design. So disc check back in. Smog sideline, still very loud. It's Williams, can't quite get the layout block. Inside shot up that far sideline. Is reeled in.
What a grab.
Inside shot again, and a timeout called from Puti.
Veteran move there.
Ooh. Puti were sweating that point.
So much pressure, that got really heated.
Oh yeah, Smog were so tight on every single pass. So smart of Puti to
floats that one out. Huge bid. Gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. PuTi. PuTi.net.
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
So players are almost ready out of this timeout.
Smog surrounding the stack in the end zone.
Yeah, double covering the front of stack. Forcing the reset from Puti. Near sideline, there is a player free on the far side. Hammer goes up, difficult read, but nicely done. Puti take the timeout and convert.
They didn't ever put pressure off. They're hard cuts. And then using the open players as Smog was poaching off the easy shots. But no stress for Puti to take the difficult ones.
Yeah, Smog started by double marking the front of stack, which is a very intelligent move because the rest of the downfield defenders can cover any immediate shots over those players at the front of the stack. But then after that, they never really recovered. And the crossfield hammer
works.
Yeah, did the job.
I love a good hammer. So PuTi securing that 2-point lead.
Let's see if Smog can switch back to the offensive mindset as Bennett puts the disc up. It goes over the top of the PuTi receiver. Layout not quite far enough.
It was very high on that layout, but the disc was just too low already.
Yeah, big effort, but Smog will have to do it on defense. PuTi walk the disc to the front of the end zone. This is an important break if they can get it. It's PuTi working down the far side. Smog choosing to switch a little bit in the backfield, and there's a receiver open for PuTi in the end zone. Not quite on the end zone line. Both teams trying to recover, and there's the pop to the end zone. PuTi convert the break and give themselves a 3-point lead.
That was a beautiful shot, exploiting the lack of defensive coverage for that Smog player, and being calm in front of the end zone is so hard when there's a ton of people running at you, screaming to get that disc.
Yeah, Smog looked a little bit disorganized on defense. At the start of the point, they actively chose to poach off one of the PuTi players. And as the point went on, there were a few miscommunications on switches, and that's what allowed PuTi to find that receiver deep. And then good hustle from the rest of the PuTi players to provide options and convert the score.
Definitely well-deserved break there for PuTi.
As we see this deep shot once again, arcing down hard into the hands.
You can see so many players running towards that disc.
Smog let the pull drop. Lees finds Hunt. Back to Lees. Thompson. Codd pops it straight to Lees. There's the shot to the end zone, looking for Codd, who can't quite reach.
Don't think he saw that disc coming up. Stopped his cut.
Yeah.
And then had to go again. Oh, but there's
some discussion.
Discussion about that.
Turnover's the only thing being signaled, but no one's really moved. Turton's not happy about the throw. No idea what the call is, but
yeah, I wouldn't know what that discussion would be about because
it
was very free. The only hand signal.
Yeah, I mean there might have been a pick elsewhere, but it's unlikely to have affected that throw unless it was significantly before it.
We did see him stop for a second, but he has to catch that disc regardless, doesn't he?
I think so, unless the pick is significantly before the throw, and then you can argue that play had stopped.
Yeah.
But after the throw goes up, yeah, you've got to catch it.
There's a long discussion now on the field. The Spirit captain going to explain. And as they're still discussing, we can already hear the jingle, which means that this is the last point. And
yeah, this will likely be the last point unless this is deemed a goal, which
we're not.
It won't, because it wasn't a strip, but the disc is going to go back. Something was contested.
So Turton back with the disc in her hands. Stall is at 2, signaled at 2.
So Thompson finds Lees. Back to Thompson, forehand give and go. Does not find the return pass though. IO break. End zone. Looking for card, but miscommunication, and PuTi reads the play, gets in the way, and they get a chance to end this game with a score for themselves. Up line. Looking in field. Can't find the reset though, that disc was too far.
Some arrows from both sides, and throws, giving Smog another opportunity to punch that goal in me. And
Turton goes up line. Hunt with the disc now. Come back for Lees. High release, backhand break to Thompson. Just outside the end zone. Opts for the swing. Open side continuation is not there. Thompson shoots to the back of the end zone, and Smog will collect this one to bring their score up to 10. But PuTi take the game, 12 points to 10, and we will see what happens with the mixed division brackets later in the day. But for now, thank you for joining us. We'll be back very soon with some open and women's bracket action. Remember to subscribe to Ulti TV, check out our Patreon page, and we will see you very soon.
Ulti.tv